go to business. Stephen is joining us here and saying, I don't think there's any link between Wonder Woman and Rex Tillerson, but his time at the oil company ExxonMobil set to come to an end. Donald Trump's set to nominate him as Secretary of State.
Yeah, he's been with the oil giant for 41 years, rising from a production engineer to become chief executive of ExxonMobil back in 2006. Now, Mr. Tillerson is known as a deal maker. He drove Exxon's policy of seeking out oil and gas contracts in far-flung places. There's been much focus too on his ties to Russia. He was awarded the country's Order of Friendship in 2011 after striking a deal that allows Exxon to explore the Arctic for oil. Now, during his time as chief executive, ExxonMobil's shares have risen by almost 60%, although that's less than the growth seen by some of its rivals. The oil executive has also stewarded deals with difficult regimes like in Venezuela. If he's confirmed, though, now the challenge will be more for him to change his approach from deals to diplomacy as Secretary of State.
And meanwhile, Stephen, Donald Trump has also delayed announcement, hasn't he, on his business interests?
The US President-elect was meant to hold a press conference on Thursday to explain how he plans to quit his business interests while he's in office. His spokesperson says that's been pushed back to January, but Mr. Trump tweeting that he will be leaving his businesses before the inauguration and that his sons Donald Jr. and Eric will be managing the companies with other executives. He said there'll be no new deals done while he's in office. Mr. Trump has investments, of course, all over the world, including hotels, golf courses and even a vineyard.
It hasn't stopped Donald Trump, though, from criticising yet another major American company, has it?
This time it's the defence manufacturer Lockheed Martin. Shares in the firm tumbled after Mr. Trump tweeted that the company's jet fighter programme was too expensive, saying that he'd save billions on military purchases when he takes office. In fact, each character of Donald Trump's tweet erased more than $28 million from Lockheed Martin's value. Jalal Susan now reports.
$4 billion in market value erased after a single tweet. Shares in Lockheed Martin tumbled on Monday. This after the US president-elect tweeted the cost of the aerospace company's F-35 program was out of control. Donald Trump added he'd save billions of dollars in military purchases once he assumes office in January. The head of Lockheed Martin's F-35 program, meanwhile, wasted no time addressing the president-elect's concerns.
Lockheed Martin and its industry partners understand the importance of affordability for the F-35 program. And since the beginning, we've invested hundreds of millions of dollars to reduce the price of the airplane, more than 70%.
Lockheed's F-35 program has been dogged by problems after a decision was made to start producing the jets before completing development. It led to a series of costly retrofits on early production planes. This is the second time in a week Trump has gone after contractors of military equipment. Last Tuesday, the president-elect took a similar swipe at US plane maker Boeing, tweeting the cost of the new Air Force One was out of control and called on the federal government to cancel the order.
Let's take a look at what's happening on the markets for you next. A bit of a mixed picture in Asia today. That's after we saw Wall Street come back off that winning streak it's been having since the presidential election in the United States. You can see the Nikkei in Tokyo finished the day up 0.5%, gains too on the Kospi in Seoul, but some small falls in Shanghai and on the Hang Seng in Hong Kong.
Now, here in France, a new study has revealed some worrying trends in how companies pick new employees.
The survey of 40 major French firms was carried out for the Labour Ministry. It found that around a third of French companies surveyed discriminated against people with Arab-sounding names in the way that they hired their new candidates. The firm conducting the research sent out 3,000 fake job applications to companies. They were for candidates with similar qualifications but different names. And in 12 of the 40 companies, there was a significant difference in responses for those with French-sounding names and those with names of North African origins. France's Labour Minister Mariam El Khomri saying the results reveal an underlying trend that must be addressed.
Yeah. Anyway, Italy now, massive cuts announced at the bank UniCredit.
The radical restructuring is to cost more than 12 billion euros as the bank slashes jobs and tries to reduce the amount of its bad debts. Some 14,000 posts are to go under the cost-cutting plan, saving the lender 1.1 billion euros. UniCredit also says it's planning to raise 13 billion in new capital. Now, the lender is one of the Italian banks that's been suffering from a high amount of bad debt. Its shares have been hit too by the uncertainty after Prime Minister Renzi's resignation.
Finally from Stephen, Bill Gates has announced a new fund to invest in clean technology.
The $1 billion fund is a venture by the Microsoft co-founder and other major figures, including Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. Its aim is to boost research into new, cleaner energy that's cheaper than fossil fuels and to help meet the aims of the Paris Climate Accord agreed last year. French oil firm Total is also supporting the venture. Mr. Gates says that he'll be pushing this message to Donald Trump too, that this kind of investment makes sense.
We hope it makes a difference. Thank you very much, Stephen. Stephen with Business on France 24.